A very warm welcome to each and everyone, and welcome to the edCafe. This is your host Mansi, and today we have a very special guest with us. Let me give you a glimpse of her introduction. She is an assistant professor in Rukmini Devi Institute of Advanced Studies. She has a specialization of digital marketing and sales and management. Please welcome Dr. Surbhi Pahuja Mehta. Welcome to the edCafe, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mansi.
It is a wonderful experience to have you here. Please tell our audiences about yourself.
Okay. Hello everybody, this is Dr. Surbhi Pahuja Mehta. Regarding me, I am into the education industry since last 9 years, and I have seen the industry evolving. I would say that a lot of things have changed pre-COVID, post-COVID, and a lot of aspects have changed regarding the education industry. I have my specialization as HR and marketing both, but I can say the whole scenario regarding management nowadays is changing, and we need to have a lot of things that can make the things better on a long run in the education industry.
Like beautifully said that as we have seen the evolving changes, and according to that we need to upskill ourselves. Exactly. Right. So let me know about your journey. Like, how did you started? Like, what made you think of being a professor?
See, I always wanted to work in this industry. I was in my MBA from the same college. I have done my MBA from Rukmini Devi Institute of Advanced Studies.
That's right. Amazing.
I was in the college only when one of my teachers told me about UGC NET, and then she helped me with everything to prepare for the exam. And I would say wherever I am, she obviously had a major contribution in that. And after that, my journey started. For 2 years, I worked in the corporate sector. I was business development manager with an advertising agency. After that, I started with the Sant Haridas College of Higher Education of IP University, and since then I have never looked back. I am in the same industry.
That's nice. That's amazing. I mean, as you said that you had a mentor in your life, who made you choose a path,
right?
And then you did everything on your own self, and that's amazing. Okay, so the very first question that I would be asking is, like, how do you define education technology and its role in the modern technology when we talk about, and especially when we say it in the education, like the education sector or the aspect?
See, when you talk about education and technology, I feel these are the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
These are not two things I would say that are being differentiated, or that should be rather differentiated. These two things work all together, and that's how we work nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially the way things changed during COVID. It was only education technology that helped the education sector to survive. Without technology, I would say that the sector would have been, out of the market, and our jobs were also at stake at that time if we had no technology.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the experience that right now we provide to our students, that basically have a very important role if you talk about technology, because when I am teaching my student that see, I am telling a case study or I am teaching a case study and I am saying that this thing is happening, I must show the same thing also.
Exactly.
And for that I need technology. We do have the CEO interviews, the CMO interviews. We do conduct such things in the online mode as well. We do show them that what is actually happening in the industry. And we cannot go to those people each and every day and conduct the interviews. We can do those things online, and that's how technology helps us.
Exactly.
We tell them that this is what you are really experiencing in the real world, because see, theory they can learn.
Yeah.
For that they have books. we need to tell them the real scenarios, that what is actually happening, or whatever they are learning, does it have an application, does it have an applicability in the real scenario? Because this is the journal complaint that employers have, that students do have the qualification, they do have the criterias, but they are not industry ready. To make them industry ready, we need to have education technology. So that's
and
how I can
as you
explain
said that they need to have a practical environment to them to understand the industry based things. And I've seen nowadays like colleges and universities initiating all those user case scenario things where they are like giving them the assignments to just go out with a bare minimum amount of money and you know just make it double or try to like I just like recently one of my friend so she's in Symbiosis, so she had an activity where she was being told that you have this 100 rupees and now you need to sell something out of it, like you can buy some raw materials or ingredients or maybe anything and you need to sell something out of it. You can make the money out of it, like you can double the amount, or maybe if nothing happens then that is something other, like it's some other case. But then eventually that made them understand that they were given an industry based learning where they need to understand ki bahar kya hota hai. It's not just a life full of you know like a flower of bed which you say
only.
Exactly. So you need to struggle, you need to know how much hard work do you need to do. Also not just about hard work, many other things as we talk about, like teamwork, because they were a team, and the management skills that they built. So all these things made them understand about like, yes, this is what we do when we go to a corporate sector or maybe a business or maybe any other department. So very rightly said that you need to have a practical scenario knowledge.
And for that we do have business development labs, we do have incubation centers. That's why these you know universities, colleges, they are working in this scenario, because entrepreneurship is a very good thing that you know we can teach our students. That you are not just creating a job for yourself, you are creating a job for others as well.
So like just having the same like the same question, but it is for the faculty part. Now I want to ask, like, what do you think, like as I said, like as we saw that there were challenges when teachers were switching to the online mode, when we especially talk about the technology part. So do you feel that teachers, like for them to have the faculty development skills, or maybe we talk about the training, so they should be given a proper amount of training, webinar or maybe seminar sessions for them to understand about the education, like the technology, when we talk about what is happening inside the education world, when we say about the gamification part, that we have seen, like Kahoot and all these apps have came, and all these gamifications has happened in the education world. So do you think that these the teachers should get a proper training for them to upskill their like the technology part?
Yes, I do feel that there is a need, because when we say about this profession, the only thing I remember since when I started my journey till now is that a teacher is always a student, and that's how we should keep learning. Because this is not that field wherein you know you are there on a particular position and that's where the journey ends. This is a journey which is forever. You are forever a student, even when you are a teacher. You must learn new things. There are so many things that we learn from our own students. They tell us about, you know, ma'am, there is a new app, and that's we give them projects that you need to do this and that, and then we come up with some things that we ourselves don't know. So we get to know so many things from them.
So that's basically the learn, as you said, that learning never stops. And talking about the students, like as we say that they are more into the advancement of the technology, and it is nowhere harm to, you know, learn from even your younger generation, or maybe if it is about teaching your older generation. So there is nothing harm in it. So my second question would be around like how can edtech be leveraged to promote lifelong learnings and continuous professional developments for the educators?
See, if you talk about the educators, I think the most important thing is networking and sharing of knowledge. So if you share knowledge and if you talk about different aspects, definitely there are so many people in this world who will come to know about so many new things.
Yeah.
So we can have better connect, because connect and communication can build up so many things that we never even think of, that this can be created or this can have an impact, but it does have an impact. So if you talk about networking, if you talk about sharing of things, if you talk about creating something new, giving a chance to our own students, giving a chance to give them, to show them, to so that they can showcase their own skills, that's one good idea that we can create.
Exactly.
We can have sessions, we can have some kind of interactive sessions wherein we tell them that this is a blank thing that you are doing, create something new. For example, when I teach marketing, I say my kids that I won't judge you, nor I am from IIT, nor you are from IIT. Create anything that you want to. Think of a product from your own mind. It should not be that something that is already there in the market.
Yeah.
So they come up with new ideas, and these are the new ideas which can be then communicated to the companies.
Yeah.
And that's how students can get funds as well.
Exactly.
So that's how things work. If you want to create a network, you should think about an idea first.
Yeah, as you just made me think about my college day. As you said, in the marketing, we give the projects where a student need to think about a product, and then out of it they need to get about all the 4 P's.
Right.
Like how are you going to do that, and what is your when we talk about when we say कि अगर हमें प्रोडक्ट को हमारा प्री स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होना चाहिए, ड्यूरिंग व्हेन वी हैव मेड दैट उसका क्या स्ट्रैटेजी होना चाहिए, एंड देन पोस्ट प्रोडक्ट स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होना चाहिए. सो आई स्टिल रिमेंबर दैट आज जैसा आपने बोला कि टीचर्स ने कहा कि आप कोई भी एक यूनिक प्रोडक्ट सोचो. सो what that made us realize is that every student has a unique idea.
Right.
They have a unique what we can say is that हर एक student के मन में, maybe if a student is like, as a student, if you are there and if I am there,
right,
maybe we have a single product over here, that is a water bottle,
right,
but you must be having some other thing in your mind कि शायद bottle cap ऐसा होता, इसका color ऐसा होता, and I would be exactly, I would be thinking about कि font, font should have been like this, the design of the bottle should have been. So these unique ideas made us create a product, and made us understand that yes, when you brainstorm with all the other peoples, as you said, networking and sharing knowledge is important. So once you start sharing your knowledge, you'll come up with something very good, very good out of it. Rightly said. I mean,
for example, I'll share one experience with you. I gave the same assignment to my students, and one of my students said that there should be a wheelchair which should be like like it should work like the way Alexa works. I should give my instruction and it should walk.
Yeah.
So that's how he said that we can create a particular product wherein, because anybody who's sitting on that wheelchair can speak, and it should move in the same direction, and that's how it can provide convenience
to the person who
that's how it can help that person.
I mean, that is amazing, right? Like if you are there isn't like Alexa, you said हम wheelchair को बोल रहे हैं कि please move to the left,
please move,
and then
right,
that is moving to the left, and then
move
right,
these much steps.
Yeah.
So life is so easy then.
Yeah, I mean, like so many ideas that we people have, but we never explore it.
Exactly.
And because we're afraid of, you know, even speaking out of कि यार अगर मैंने ये बोल दिया तो ऐसा ना हो कि वो judge करे कि यार ये क्या बोल रहे हैं. And it is not
and
like that.
And that's why I always say this thing in the beginning, that I am not a pass out of IIT IIM. Neither you are in IIT IIM. There no judgment, no expectation.
Exactly. So as we we have talked about the students, we have talked about the faculties, we have heard about the NAAC,
right,
and the hot topic that has created in the higher the higher education when we talk about. So my another question would be around the NAAC accreditations only. How do you think that the education technology can support institutions in meeting the accreditation standards which are set by the NAAC?
See, the way NAAC works nowadays, it has changed, because the way, you know, earlier these reports were being given, be it AQAR, be it the reports that had only the subjective data. It's not there right now. Right now everything is in facts and figures.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not, we can, you know, have bluff over it, we can change the things. It's facts, it's numbers, so we cannot change that. Education industry really works nowadays on the basis of technology, and that NAAC also understands. NAAC right now works on the basis of quality of work, how, you know, quality education is being provided to the students. So if I say about technology definitely has a very important role, because NAAC has a few criterias wherein NAAC is expecting you to you know, show these things, that how do we work through online portals. For example, we have our own portal, and we provide all the content to the students through that portal. How convenient it is for the student to have the content, how convenient it is. The student must have the access of attendance.
Exactly.
The student must not be, you know, in a different world, that I don't know where my attendance is. Even the attendance goes to the parents as well.
Exactly.
So it's not that ki right now we are in that pen and paper zone, the way, you know, it used to work so many years ago. It's not that. There are so many criterias that are talking about the exact number of you know, computers that you are having in your institute, how computer based education is being provided.
Yeah.
There is a point in the report. I have myself prepared a booklet about that report, which talks about ICT, which talks about how do you know you promote education through lifelong learning. Exactly. How do you promote education through incubation centers, and these incubation centers, these business development labs, these new ventures, life projects, everything works on the basis of technology. So we cannot escape that thing. It has no escape if you talk about NAAC. NAAC demands so many things in different criterias, which is always pointing towards technology. So and even the grading is somehow dependent on the technology.
Exactly. So basically NAAC has set the standards for the higher education part,
and which is necessary as
exactly well. Because to be very honest, what we have seen what we have seen in the past years of what we were what was the teaching you know, methodology, that has changed a lot. Like just not now, like earlier there were you just have to concentrate on your theory parts, you just need to read your books, get your marks. You know, it was marks oriented thing, like har parent yahi hota tha, kitne marks hai, kitne marks hai, kya raha, result kya raha. But now we have seen that getting changed. Now parents are aware ki, see, not marks, like theek hai, marks is important. I'm not saying marks is not important. Students' marks are important. Yes, marks are important. But the thing is ki मार्क्स के अलावा भी आपके जो स्किल्स हैं, जो कि आपको लगता है यूनिक है आपके लिए, दैट यू एंजॉय द मोस्ट, दैट यू से हॉबी, और मे बी यू कैन से इट एज अ पैशन, दैट शुड ऑल्सो बी यू नो अपस्किल्ड. यू शुड नो कि यस, maybe I'm not meant for this, but then I'm meant for that. So that has to be there, like rightly said. And it was important for the CBSE part also, and UGC also, to set a standard for the education ki yes, not we have to move out of what we were doing from past.
Because you see, everything is changing. There's only
so.
one thing that is constant in this world, that is change.
Yeah.
So you need to change, you need to upgrade. Why do we revise the syllabus? Because it is needed now.
Exactly.
We cannot keep reading the same things again and again.
And as you said, why do we revise the syllabus? Eventually, when we talk about in 6th standards, we are being taught, like I'm just giving you an example. In 6th standard, if in a science subject we are taught about photosynthesis, maybe we are given a paragraph.
Right.
In 8th standard, we are given a page.
Right.
In 12th standard, we are given a proper chapter about that.
Right.
And eventually, when you grow, like when you go out for a college study, you are given a book. Right, so that is basically so that shows or that that teaches you that you need to upgrade yourself in the knowledge part also. So like so much conversation that we had. So my last question, but not the least of course, would be around how can educational technology contribute to the continuous quality improvement when we talk about the key aspect of NAAC accreditation?
See, NAAC definitely has a very, very, very strong criteria in the continuous quality. Because NAAC right now, we had our NAAC visit just I'll say 2 months back. Because now the NAAC peer team does not even look for the only facts that you have given. They also do recheck the facts. They also see that whatever you have provided, is it really there or it is just written like that. For example, if you say that we work on the basis of technology, we work on the basis of continuous quality and all that. These days, NAAC peer team also wants to meet the alumni. They also want to have the real interaction with the students. They also want to see the quality that you are providing, that you are at least saying that you are providing. So if you talk about the continuous quality, that's how only the universities or institutes that can survive. If you only work on a short run, you really cannot survive.
Exactly.
Because in this cutthroat competition, you cannot survive if you see yourself in such a short span or you just have a short vision. You need to see things from a big point of view. Whatever is happening in the industry, you must know about it.
Exactly.
Whatever norms are changing, you must know about it. And you must upgrade yourself on the same criteria.
Exactly. So, do you think that this NAAC accreditation that has came up will set a quality standard for each and every higher education?
Definitely, and see, setting quality standard is required because we all know the fact that there's a lot of unemployment in India.
Exactly.
And the major reason behind that is that there are so many colleges and that are required as well because the population is too much. But then there are so many colleges, but one should be able to distinguish, and to create that distinguish or to create that differentiation, NAAC is required. NAAC is required to tell the student, see, this is A++, so there must be something that they are A++, or this is A+, so there must be something that they are having, there must be something that they are providing. So definitely NAAC is important so that we can have at least our own guiding stars,
yeah. So as you said, like see A plus part. So what I believe is that nowadays I've seen मतलब मेरी इतनी colleges और in universities में जब बात होती है तो उनको बस NAAC accreditation के लिए they do not care about what is exactly going on in their education system, ecosystem जो उनके college university के अंदर हो रहा है. बेशक उनके credit scores कुछ भी जा रहे हो, teaching scheme नहीं है, proper नहीं है, but still they are into that, नहीं बस एक NAAC accreditation मिलना चाहिए, right? Exactly. Not setting up the quality standards, but still thinking of getting the NAAC accreditation. So like, do you think that कि जैसे NAAC इन सारी चीज़ों को filterize कर सकता है, like they can check the facts, like this university is right, this college is right, this college maybe has given some amount of information that is not correct, some amount of information is correct. So ये सारी चीज़ें NAAC ने set कर दी हैं, to be very honest. Where now you cannot just, you know, just for the accreditation, just for getting the affiliation, you cannot just say anything. And that was important, to be very honest, because we have seen tier B, tier C cities. Like, we cannot talk about metropolitan cities because metropolitan cities colleges are more upon the upskilling technology, and they are more about, you know, they are focused about the advancement because they want their students to, you know, eventually when a student grows or if a student goes anywhere and or maybe वो अपनी लाइफ में कुछ भी अच्छा करता है, तो एक हिस्सा होता है जो हम हमेशा पूछते हैं कि आपने कॉलेज कहाँ से किया था, आपने स्कूलिंग कहाँ से की थी.
That is important.
So that, you know, that thing is hand in hand which goes with each and every person. Even if you talk about a normal student, if you even if you talk about prime minister, or even if you talk about anyone, so you ask about their education qualification, you ask them about अच्छा आपने कहाँ से पढ़ाई करी. So yes, all these things matters. I mean, it was a very beautiful conversation that we have, ma'am. Before ending this interview session, I would just like you to please sign this mug as a gesture of our memory that we keep with each and every one. So you can sign it here. Thank you for being on this platform. Thank you for sharing so much about the education. Thank you so much. Please sign here too. So one is for you and one is for us. Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you. We are we are honored to have you here. We are obliged to have you here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being in this interview session. I am sure that you will get a good amount of information with this interview that we had. We'll meet next time with next guest. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I had a question.